Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about something nice that I recently started to enjoy of. I started to do different tasks in CodeWars website, and a nice task which is actually a new one I think, which I found and I thought it would be nice to make a video about it, is called squash the bugs. So someone wrote a function here which takes a string and is supposed to return back the longest word. So for example, if you take this sentence, the longest word would be this one, which contains 10 different letters. Okay, but the main problem of this code is that it's full of bugs and we have to fix it. I think it's a good code for beginners, and in general it's a good website for beginners. So let's try to execute it. So the first issue is with line number 6, indentation error. So all we have to do to fix this error is just hit tab or 4 spaces. Let's run it one more time. Okay, there is another issue here. Line number 5, which says that it says that length cannot be applied on list, and actually it's incorrect completely, because in Python, if you want to know the length of a list or a string, you have to use the length function. Let's run it one more time. Okay, now it doesn't throw any error, but all 45 tests are failing. So let's start to do line by line. Let's go through all the lines and see if there are issues. So the first line is the definition of the function, which sends a string to a variable called string. Let's see next line. So we have a list here which takes, here is another issue. It takes str variable and it splits it with white spaces, these spaces. Okay, so where is the issue here is that we don't have a variable called str, we have only string variable. So if I put it here, now it will be correct. I don't see any issue with the longest and I variables. I do see an issue with the logic here, because I is always 0 and there will be always a specific sentence or even one word, so the length of the list will be always bigger than I. So we have to switch the sign. Another issue here, before going through all the variables inside the if condition, is that we have to move this line here, hit tab, and let's try to run it. Okay, we have an issue here. List object is not callable. Which line? Line number 6. Okay, it refers to this part. The only issue here is that if you want to call a specific object from a list, okay, let me show you an example. I'm going to add a line here just so you will understand it. Let me run it. Okay, so this is our list. It's actually the first sentence from here. So if we want to take now the very first object from this list, we have to call it its index, which is 0. But if you want to call it, you have to use the square brackets. Okay, so now it's supposed to be fine. Okay, so now there is an issue with line number 7. Actually it's correct, there is an issue. Again, if you want to compare the length, now by the way it compares it give you the length of this object, which will be 3 because there are 3 letters. Okay, now there is an issue with line number 8. String object has no attribute length, which is correct. Again, if you want to get a length of a string, we have to use the length function. Okay, probably now we're going to receive a timeout. Yes, there is a timeout error. So now I think there are several issues. First of all, we defined I as 0. And if we want to go through all these items, we have all the time to increase the index. So if we have, in this case, 9 items, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? If we want to get this item, our I is supposed to be 9 in this case. Okay, actually 8. So we have to add here auto incremental for the I, and this condition will be true only if the length of this object, first object, is longer than 0. In this case it's true, so we are going to save in the longest variable the number 3. But let's look at this letter. Once we will increase the I by 1, okay, it will be now 1. This condition will be true, and in this case 4 is bigger than 3, which is correct. Now we are going to save this in the longest variable. It will be now equal to 5, sorry, not 4. Okay, until we will be on this letter. Okay, in this case, sorry, not this case. Let's take Fox as an example. Okay, the length of this letter is 3. So 3 is not bigger than longest, because in longest we have the number 5. So in this case we will get another timeout. So what we are going to add to fix it is auto incremental in case if this fails, because we still want to keep increasing the I to go to the next object. Let's run it now. Okay, so as you can see, we fixed the code, we have passed all the 45 tests, and it works. So my conclusion that I think you should do more like these tasks on CodeWars. It has many different other languages, and I think I will record more examples from this website because they are useful and you can learn many things out of these codes. So see ya in the next video.